Now we move to I'm gonna I'm gonna put a buffer in between because there is by that I mean there is two similar stories or four similar stories. This is why I don't try and set up segues. The fact of the matter is, WWE has been pit. There is reports that WWE has been pitching matches to Stone Cold Steve Austin for WrestleMania, and they are a lot bigger than you would expect. Because not to say that him and Kevin Owens was not a big deal last year, it was, and it was one of the more highly anticipated matchups at WrestleMania in 2022, and actually headlined WrestleMania Night 1, I do believe, from what I remember. But WrestleMania has been rumored. I mean, there have been rumors shrouded with Steve Austin, John Cena, and The Rock for the last couple of months, and now we know without question The Rock will not be a part of the WrestleMania rumors anymore, as The Rock is not going to be a part of WrestleMania this year, but John Cena is still rumored to be, as is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And there are rumors that Austin's opponents, that there was a pitch last summer for Austin to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, but that the money may not have been there for Austin to get back in the ring on in such a high, I guess such a high magnitude type match, or maybe Steve just didn't want to fight Roman Reigns. I don't. I mean, there's only one person that really knows the truth on that matter. But according to Dave Meltzer, this is a rumor that according to Dave Meltzer's subtlety, that it is possible that the other person that may have been pitched to fight Steve Austin at WrestleMania was Brock Lesnar. As everybody knows, or as there's been a lot made of the reports over the last couple of years, that back in 2002 when Brock first made his debut, there was a match set between Brock and Steve Austin for a King of the Ring qualifier on a random episode of Raw, and that was the match that led to Stone Cold Steve Austin walking out of WWE because his match with Brock Lesnar was going to happen on free television with absolutely no hype or build up to the match, and basically Steve was tired of creative lacking for him for months and months and months at a time, and he was ready to and he chose to walk out instead, making it where that match never happened. Because by the time that Austin came back, I guess he was in a position where he knew his career was pretty much over, because Austin came back only to actually I think did he not come back to do something with Eric Bischoff and then at No Way Out, and then he came back to work with The Rock at WrestleMania. It just didn't work out for Austin to fight Brock Lesnar like WWE had intended. And basically, Austin was out of the ring for the next 20 years. Many thought he would never return. And before last year, nobody thought he would return. But now, the fact that that is even rumored is a little nutty cuckoo in my opinion. But, I mean, imagine Brock Lesnar versus Brock Lesnar versus Steve Austin, or Roman Reigns versus Steve Austin. Two dream matches that we never thought possible. But also, as Dave Meltzer said, to further the explanation, Dave Meltzer's reason why Brock Lesnar versus Steve Austin may not happen is because of the events of Raw 30 last night, where it seems like the WrestleMania match is likely going to be Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley in their finale of their trifecta of matches that they had throughout 2022. I think it is entirely possible that Bobby Lashley wins against Brock Lesnar, because you have to figure that the Beast Incarnate may be hanging it up very soon. And we know that if Brock is only going to come back for the big events like WrestleMania or like Crown Jewel, then he doesn't need to be like the mystique. A bit of the mystique could drop off, in my opinion. And he doesn't need to win every feud, but also having Bobby Lashley, the Bobby Lashley feud with Brock Lesnar would elevate Bobby Lashley, but at the same time, it would be a little bit of an issue, in my opinion, having Brock Lesnar beat Bobby Lashley if Brock does not have anybody left, which I think the question is, you could probably count on one hand the amount of people that Brock Lesnar has left yet to fight on the WWE roster that he hasn't fought already. I know Drew McIntyre mentioned wanting to have another match with Brock Lesnar, but there's a difference between wanting to have one and actually having one. And outside of Bobby Lashley, I can't think of many other people that could hold a candle to the Beast Incarnate. So maybe you have Brock lose to Lashley at WrestleMania, and you gain a little bit more than having him win. The one thing I would say is there was talk on the Cultaholic video that I watched of Brock fighting Austin Theory for the United States title. I think if you want to have Brock fight a middle of the card champion like Gunther or Austin Theory, the match is with Gunther, not with Austin Theory. But I just want to mention, and this is what the difficult segue was, that I was going to start with a Jay Briscoe story and then end with a Jay Briscoe story, but I decided to keep the Austin stories together and the Jay Briscoe stories together instead of going the other way. According to reports, as it was reported by both Ring of Honor, it was shared by CZW's Facebook page, AEW or Shop AEW has put out a Reach for the Sky t-shirt, which was one of the trademark catchphrases of the Briscoe brothers, and it has Jay Briscoe pictured on the t-shirt. All proceeds for the sales of the t-shirt will go to benefit Jay and his family, or Jay's family. And the fact of the matter is, the fact that CZW is sharing it, the fact that other promotions are sharing it, again, shows how much of an impact Jay Briscoe had on the wrestling business. But that's not all. This Wednesday night on Dynamite is Jay Briscoe's birthday. And on Dynamite this week, Mark Briscoe will be making his AEW debut on Dynamite against Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal is one of Jay Briscoe's greatest rivals and longtime friends. And the fact of the matter is, there is nobody better for Mark to fight than Jay Lethal because of the history that Jay has with his brother outside of baby Adam Cole. But Adam Cole may not be 100% yet, and that's why we haven't seen Adam back in the ring yet. But either way, that aside, the fact of the matter is, Mark Briscoe will be making his AEW debut on Dynamite this week for a Jay Briscoe tribute match to honor his brother on his birthday. There's no other way to end this news video than to say that. And that it's going to be a very emotional Wednesday night. Tomorrow night. It's going to be a very emotional day again as we celebrate the life of Jay Briscoe on Dynamite tomorrow night. But with that being said, I will see you in the next video.